Hello and welcome back, and in today's video we're going to be looking at a textured granny hexagon. I've tried saying that 5 times now. That's it, I'm not doing it anymore. In last week's video I went through how to do a normal granny square. In this week's one we're going to be looking at how to do a textured one. So this one uses a stitch called a front post double crochet, so we will be going over that. So let's change cameras. So to complete this motif we're going to need a few items. We're going to start off with some yarn, our crochet hook and a pair of scissors to snip off your ends. And if you've got one handy, a bent tip tapestry needle will help with weaving in your ends. So I'm going to start with a magic circle. You can also do this with a chain 4 which you join to make a circle. Within that circle and this one you're going to start with a chain 4, that's 3 chains for a double crochet and 1 chain for a space. Once we've done that we're going to yarn over and we're going to put a double crochet into that ring. Now we're going to do another double crochet into that ring and a chain 2. And that is going to be a repeat. It's a double crochet, a second double crochet and a chain 2. And we're going to do that until we've got 10 double crochets and 1 chain 3, so that's a total of 11 stitches. And then we're going to do 1 double crochet, we're going to close off our circle and then we're going to join to our first chain 4 at the top of that chain 3. So we will be joining with a slip stitch to the 3rd chain of the chain 4. I'm now going to slip stitch over to my chain space and I'm going to chain 4 again. At this point I'm going to do a double crochet and then this is where we start doing our front post double crochet. To do this we need to yarn over, we're going to put our hook underneath the stitch, the spoke of the stitch. We're going to come out the other end and we're going to yarn over and pull through. I'm going to do that again. So yarn over, through the stitch, out the other side, yarn over, pull it through, pull through 2 and pull through 2. I'm going to do 1 more stitch into the chain 2 space and then I'm going to chain 2. Let's do that again. So we're going to do a double crochet into the space. We're going to yarn over. I'm going to insert my hook underneath the spoke of the stitch and now I'm going to do the same thing again. Insert the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 and then 1 more double crochet into that space. I'll speed this up. Okay, so we're getting to the end of this repeat. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a double crochet, a chain 2, a double crochet. I'm going to do a front post double crochet around the first stitch, just the same as we have done. Another round around the second one, and then I'm going to join with a slip stitch to the 3rd chain of the chain 4. I'm going to pull my circle a little bit tighter and there you see the beginning of our textured square, hexagon. we're now going to start the next one. So I'm going to slip stitch over into the chain 1 space, sorry, the chain 3 space, chain 2 space. I'm now going to chain 4, which again is a double crochet plus a chain 1 space. We're going to do a double crochet in that spot, and now we're going to do a double crochet into that stitch, and then we're going to do a front post double crochet around the second stitch there. As it goes on, it will become more and more obvious that's where you're putting the front post double crochet. So we're going to put one in there, one in the next one, and then we're going to move the stitch across a bit so you can see the next stitch just there. Sometimes it does get hidden, so you need to move that stitch out of the way to be able to put that stitch in. I'm going to do one more double crochet and a chain 2. Let's go through that again. One more double crochet. We're going to do a double crochet in the top of that wedge. Now at this point we have got 4 stitches in there, and we're going to be increasing by 2 stitches in each wedge. So at the end of this row, sorry, at the end of this wedge, I should have 6 stitches. So I'm going to put 1 stitch in there, a front post double crochet, our next front post double crochet, we're going to put a stitch in top of the next double crochet, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the chain 2 space, which should give us 6 stitches in total. Let's just double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. So now we're going to carry on. We're going to chain 2, and I'll speed this up, and I'll see you at the end of the round. Okay, so we are back again. I'm just finishing off these last few stitches. Don't forget to find that last stitch, and then we're going to join with a slip stitch to the chain 3, or the 3rd chain of the chain 4. Once again, going to slip stitch over to the centre of the chain space. Now as you can see, the stitch is becoming a bit more defined now, so you can definitely see the texture side of things, and you will also see that it is puckering in a bit at that centre point where that stitch goes. Don't need to worry about this will sort itself out either in blocking or when you join it to the rest of your work. I will show you an example of this fairly shortly, but for now let's carry on. Going to chain 3 plus 1 for the chain, and then a double crochet. We're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch, 1 in the next, and then we're going to do a front post double crochet around that stitch. Now at this point it gets really easy to be able to see where those front post double crochets are going, because you're literally just resting it or placing it on top of the last one. We're going to do double crochet in the next stitch and another one. Remember, it will the last front post double crochet will often hide that, so it's always worth looking to make sure it's there. At this point I'm just double checking I've got enough stitches there. Remember, we're increasing by 2 on every round. So I'm popping one in there. That's 2. That's number 3. We're going to do a front post double crochet. The second one. Move that stitch out of the way to get the next double crochet in. And we're going to finish off with that. I'm going to speed this up for you and I'll meet you back at the end. Right, so we're just finishing off our next wedge. Whenever I'm doing hexagons, I always like to think of these as wedges. Reminds me of Trivial Pursuit. So I'm just going to join. I'm just double checking my stitch count, make sure I've got the right number. And then I'm going to join into the top or the third chain. Oh, I did not have the right number of stitches. Now I'm going to do that. So there we go. That's that round done. And now we're going to look at changing the yarn. Now this is a very simple way of changing the yarn colour. There are a number of different ways and I will be doing a video on that fairly shortly. But in the meanwhile, I'm just going to change the yarn by just resting it over my hook and pulling it through. I'm going to pull both the blue yarns to make that last stitch quite tight. And I pull a bit on the white as well, just to make sure that's all done, and then I am chaining 4 again. And that's it. We're just going to carry on exactly the same as we have done. Start with a double crochet into the hoop, into the stitch. I'll start again into the chain, space, and then we're going to do a double crochet in each stitch across until we come to the front post double crochet. We're going to do the front post double crochet and then don't forget the stitch behind the front post double crochet. And then we're just going to keep doing that around. There we go. That's our front post again. Oh no, what have I done? We'll have to undo that and start that bit again. So I'm going to do a stitch in there. Then I'm going to do a front post double crochet. Another front post double crochet. And then I'm going to put a double crochet in the stitch behind the front post double crochet, and then a double crochet in each of the next stitches, making sure I have 10 in each section, and then I'm going to speed this up for you. Okay, so I'm just finishing up, just the last few stitches to be done here. And here we go. I'm just going to double check my stitch count, see if I've got enough stitches. Do I need to put one more in? Yes I do. And then I'm going to join with a slip stitch. I'm going to put another slip stitch into the top of that chain, and then I'm going to snip off my yarn. And there we have it. That is our textured hexagon granny. Now, as I said earlier, it does look like it's gonna like buckle in on itself, but once you rest it up against the other one, they're the same number of stitches, they're both 10 stitches across, so you'll be very easily be able to it's very easy to be able to crochet these together or sew these together in whichever method you want. I'm actually going for quite a textured one, which I will show you in a second. Here we go. So I'm going to bring in this blanket. So this blanket is a work in progress, and as you can see it is very textured. So we've got the textured section, and I've also joined these hexagons with a textured seam as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave any comments that you may have in the box below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.